Pros often rely on psychological tactics beyond raw skill, like exploiting player behavior and social dynamics. In a high-stakes Minecraft tournament hosted by Carl Jacobs, featuring top-tier players such as Realme and Coldified, I observed that aggressive players were frequently eliminated by strategically challenging Fairy MC in a 1v1 duel. Despite being outranked, I won due to inconsistencies in the group's behavior. This victory influenced others, leading to further eliminations. My strategy wasn't about skill. It was about reading social dynamics and manipulating them to fight. Pro gamers aren't always consistent. In a Minecraft tournament, I noticed Fairy MC hesitated in fights, even when he was skilled. His reluctance gave me an opening. I challenged him directly and won. This isn't about predicting their every move but spotting patterns in behavior, like hesitation or overconfidence, that others might miss. Try observing opponents' reactions in your next game. Small clues can lead to big advantages. Pro gamers often rely on speed and aggression, but hesitation can be a strategic weakness. In Minecraft, I noticed Fairy MC avoiding fights, then challenged him directly. His pause wasn't just doubt, it was a moment to reassess, giving me the opening to strike. Pros expect predictability, hesitate too long, and they lose focus. Try this. Spot hesitation or overconfidence, strike fast, and watch their strategy crumble. Pro gamers often rely on aggression, but hesitation is their weakness. In a Minecraft tournament, I pretended to team up with an aggressive player Fairy MC, then betrayed him mid-fight. His overconfidence made him slow to react, costing him the duel. While this strategy can work, it's not foolproof. Sometimes players adapt or exploit your hesitation. Watch for their reactions. If they overcommit, strike, but always be ready for counterplays. In a high-stakes Minecraft tournament, I forced an aggressive rival Sharpness into an alliance for a zombie survival round. He wasn't expecting my flexibility, so he hesitated. That split-second delay gave me the edge. But here's the twist. When we teamed up, his targeting strategy actually helped others advance instead of eliminating them. It was a psychological trap that backfired spectacularly. Pros rely on predictability. If you force them to adapt, their usual tactics crumble. Try this in your next game. Fake teamwork, then betray them mid-fight. Watch their overconfidence. In zombie survival mode, mobs aren't just obstacles, they're your secret weapon. I noticed Sharpness, a rival player, was targeting me relentlessly, but his aggressive strategy backfired. Instead of eliminating me, he pushed others forward, making them stronger competitors. I faked an alliance with him, luring him into a trap. His hesitation gave me the edge. Pros rely on predictability, so forcing them to adapt throws their game plan off. Try this trick. Distract your opponents and use the environment against them. It's not about raw skill, it's about outsmarting them. Pro gamers like Coldified dominate by controlling respawn points, but their aggression creates a flaw. If you force them to move early, they lose their advantage. In the final round of my 10kk tournament, I lured him away from spawn with decoys and environmental traps. Once he broke formation, his team crumbled. Pros rely on predictability. If you disrupt that, you win. Try this. Use terrain or fake threats to bait them into exposing themselves. Pro gamers like Coldified thrive on control, especially in respawn-heavy games where they dominate spawn points to overwhelm opponents. But their aggression creates a flaw. If you force them to move early, they lose their advantage. In my 10kk tournament win, I used decoys and environmental traps to lure him away from safe positions. Once he broke formation, his team fractured. It's not about raw skill. It's about disrupting their predictability. Try this. Use terrain or fake threats to bait them into exposing themselves. Watch their overconfidence unravel when they realize the game has changed. High-stakes games test your mind as much as your skills. Pros like Coldified dominate by controlling respawn points, but their aggression creates a flaw. If you force them to move early, they lose their advantage. In my 10k con tournament win, I used decoys and environmental traps to lure him away from safe positions. Once he broke formation, his team fractured. It's not about raw skill. It's about disrupting their predictability. Try this. Use terrain or fake threats to bait them into exposing themselves. Watch their overconfidence unravel when they realize the game has changed. Pro gamers train for years to master mechanics, but But their biggest flaw isn't skill, it's confidence. They rely on routines like spawn camping or team coordination, assuming no one can disrupt them. In my 10kk tournament, I broke Coldified's strategy by luring his team into open areas with decoys and fake threats. When he chased me, his advantage vanished. Pros expect you to follow their rules. If you force them to adapt, they stumble. Try this. Set up distractions or use terrain to bait them away from safe spots. Watch their overconfidence them. Pro gamers like Coldified dominate because they control respawn points and team coordination, but their biggest flaw is overconfidence. They expect you to follow their rules, but if you disrupt their routine, their advantage crumbles. In my 10k taller tournament win, I lured his team into open areas using decoys and fake threats. Once he broke formation, his team fractured, and the game shifted in my favor. Science shows that stress can be your advantage. Listening to nature or music reduces tension. But in-game, you can weaponize unpredictability. Try this. Use terrain or distractions to bait opponents into exposing themselves. Watch their overconfidence turn against them when they realize the game isn't what it seems. Pro gamers like Coldified rely on perfect execution, controlling respawns, coordinating with teammates, but their biggest weakness isn't skill, it's predictability. In my 10k win, I broke his team by luring them into open areas with decoys and fake threats. Once they abandoned their safe spots, their advantage vanished. Science shows stress can be your weapon. If you force pros to adapt on the fly, their confidence cracks. Try this today. Use terrain or distractions to bait opponents out of position. Watch their dominance